Welcome back to Cinematic Relief, Game of Thrones special. I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
Did you hear my leg slap?
That was Thunder Thighs.
No, don't
Your
call him
special
that.
move.
You know what Thunder Thighs means, bro. Don't call
Oh,
him
no.
that. Don't break your mic stand.
This has been a great start. That was Thunder and Lightning, a Game of Thrones episode, whatever.
See you
Hope
next
you
time.
had to, yeah.
This is our Game of Thrones podcast. It's part of
Cinematic Relief.
which is our movie podcast. If you want to check that out, it goes up every other Wednesday. But this is our discussion of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5. So, before we start talking about how we liked it or didn't like it or whatever, this particular episode of Game of Thrones might be the most divisive episode of Game of Thrones I've ever seen. I was on Twitter and, like, some people hate it and are
I know.
saying that, like, the writing's bad and I can't believe they did this, and we'll get into all that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people, myself and you included, are saying that this is the best one of the season so far.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. Here's the thing: the people who, what's their favorite episode this season?
The complaint I saw the most, I know this isn't the question you asked, but the complaint I saw the most is that they feel like Daenerys' decision was super out of character.
It wasn't.
I could not disagree
It wasn't at
more.
all. It was. We have recorded proof that I could see this coming a mile
Yeah.
away.
See, here's the thing. I feel like tell me if I failed to do this, but I feel like I've been pretty neutral. I feel like I've been like, you've been like, John Daenerys, and I've been like, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
you've
don't
stayed.
know.
You've stayed out of it.
Even I was like, I was shocked, right? But I wasn't shocked because I was like, how could she? What did she do? I was shocked because I was like, she's at least a human being. Like, this is like something a decent human being would not do. And I was
Right.
just like, there was set rules. She never said she was going to follow them, but there was set rules. If the bells go off, that means the city is surrendering, and you can go walk up and get the throne if you want. And she heard the bells. And
It was hers for the taking.
it was hers for the taking. She was on a flying thing. She could have just flew
Well,
right
here's
there.
the thing. She took off, right?
Yeah, it looked
And
like...
in my head, I was like, I'm either going to be disappointed and she's going to do the right thing, or I'm going to be totally right and everybody else is going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it looked like she was going right
It
for
looked
Cersei.
like-
She was going to
right.
fucking jumping strike,
Right.
attack Cersei.
And that would have been okay. You know, she had one of two options. Go right for Cersei, because that's the last person she has to kill. Like, Bell's been, the bell
Rung.
was rung. Nobody else has to die except one person.
Right.
And
I mean, she didn't know this probably, but, like, literally Cersei's army, like, surrendered. Like,
Right.
straight up for the first time surrendered. I don't think it was out of character.
No.
I feel like the writers have been adequately, like, foreshadowing the fact that
she's going to be
maybe-
insane.
Maybe all Targaryens are just as insane as whatever his name was.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, I think Varys said it. By the way, we'll get into this. This is the most important thing to talk about, what we're talking about right now. So
yeah.
I'll get into other stuff later.
Because this is
Yeah.
what's on everyone's mind.
I think Varys nailed it. They're either insane or they're normal, but it's one of the two.
That's what
there's
he meant
kind
by
of no in
That's what he meant
between.
by the coin flip,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like and I saw a lot of people being like, but she's so, she frees slaves and she with the dragons and she did this.
She
and
does
that.
it. I want to compare the way she does that to the way people give poor people money nowadays. They always have their phone out. They make sure everybody knows about it. She only does. I don't know.
You're saying she didn't like go to a town with slaves and be like, oh my gosh, slaves, I
Right.
gotta save them. She was like, these slaves could fight for me. In my,
She
in my
right.
army.
She was like, these slaves could fight for me, or this is just another notch on my belt. This is just another addition to my long name I already have.
Yeah.
Like, there was never any genuine, like, desire to help. I'm sorry. I keep like being like, but my guy Jon Snow, the perfect hero, which he isn't. He's making a comeback right now, but he's had quite a weird arc this season.
Yeah.
Which I hope has to be resolved next episode. But
Oh yeah.
as opposed to him where he was like, "Oh, the world's in trouble. You guys are arguing about the throne. That's stupid. Let's talk about this real issue that's happening right now." There was never an ulterior motive.
Right.
There's always an
For Jon
ulterior
Snow.
right. With Daenerys, I feel like there's always an ulterior motive.
And it's always the same one.
Right.
It's always I want the throne.
And here's the thing, and I know I made the joke when it happened. Is the throne destroyed? The throne's
that's the
probably
thing,
destroyed because
like,
of her.
Beyond like killing innocent people, which is obviously horrible. She also destroyed like the castle that Cersei was like standing in,
Right.
which I can only assume has the throne in
Yeah,
it. Like,
houses the
She
throne.
just went way too far. She went too far, and then she went even farther.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like it was in character. I mean, you can call it a twist or a turnaround if you want.
I feel like there was a fork in the road. I feel like Varys foreshadowed this episode perfectly. He said right to Jon Snow, "I know where you fall. I'm still uncertain about her," meaning the whole audience is still like,
yeah.
is she going to be cool or is she going to go nuts?
Yeah.
And like I feel like the coin dropped. I feel like there was a fork in the
Finally.
road.
Finally.
Right. I feel like there was a fork in the road. We were like, okay, she's got one of two ways she can go, and it went the way. Here's the thing, and it's kind of like the crybabies with Star Wars. You didn't like the outcome. Just say that. Don't say it was bad writing.
Yeah.
Say you didn't like it. And that's your opinion, but that doesn't mean it's bad writing.
No, I'd say this episode had some of the best writing of the season so far.
I will
say I said it last night, and I don't want to overuse this word, but like this episode was very poetic.
Oh yeah.
It ended poetically. It like began poetically. It was like and I haven't felt that way from Game of Thrones in a couple seasons.
Yeah. I will say there's two. I agree with you, by the way. I didn't mean to.
No, yeah, just yeah.
There's two instances where if people were like, this episode had bad writing, I'd be like, kind of got you on this part. There was a problem with no solution that happened, and it was these arrows beat dragon. But then Daenerys was like, yeah, but if we just bob and weave this time, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess that does it.
That like your dad brought up a good point, which I'm going to bring up, which is last time they caught him off guard. And
I was going to bring that up too.
Technically, this time she caught them off guard, but like, was that the extent of her plan? Was her plan this time? I'll catch them off guard.
How off guard were they though? Because she started off with the Iron Fleet. But everybody on the wall who had an arrow should have been able to watch the entire thing and be like, I guess we shoot now. Everybody aim. Get ready. Because they were all around the wall. Not just where Jon Snow, the actual land attack was happening. They were all around the border. So at some point, some group of guys on the wall with arrows was watching her destroy the Iron Fleet.
I mean, not that this is the answer, but I got the impression that those things can't turn that much. Like, I don't think they can turn 360 degrees.
Yeah, they're definitely slow, but my point is she didn't catch them all off guard.
Right, yeah.
She caught the fleet off guard, but there was enough time, I feel like, where she was destroying the ships for them to be like, hey, she's over here. Let's all point over here.
Yeah. Because like, they framed it like, when you were in a scene with Jon Snow outside the castle that you couldn't hear what was happening in the bay or whatever they call it.
I assume they were on opposite ends. They never really explained that, but I'm assuming Daenerys was all the way to the right, or in the back, and they're in the front, yeah.
But like at some point, like you said, the whole wall had the scorpions on them.
Right.
So like at some point,
one lucky shot. Cersei said it. I said it before Cersei said it.
Exactly what happened with Rhaegal.
Exactly. It's all it took, and I feel like she got a little too lucky. You know,
with the scorpions.
Yeah. The other faulty.
Like there was the scene where she was like, "Oh, I'm weaving and I'm bobbing out of the way," and then she was taking out boats, like
right?
Just whole boats. And then it got to the part where like shot after shot it was showing her just like burn up the ones around the wall, and I just like she didn't like the show didn't deserve that. Like I feel like they wanted me to be like oh look at this cool shot, yeah she's doing it, but like I was just like I was right there with you. I was like, how is this not working?
Right.
Like how are these scorpions failing this hard?
Well, they said it. They kind of like I kept saying it, and I don't know if you knew what I meant, but I was like, I feel like I've been lied to.
No, they set up the scorpions for like 2 or 3 seasons. Or
Yeah.
like one, I don't know, I forget how long.
Well, no, they
But
started
then-
off with the prototype way
Right.
back in the day, and now they're here with like the best versions.
And they literally last episode they were like, look, it
Yeah,
works.
look out.
We took out a dragon. It's definitely works. What are they gonna? That's why I didn't like that scene, because I for a whole week was like, man, how is that dragon gonna like? What are
we
they
all
gonna
were.
do with the dragon? Are they just
Yeah.
gonna say forget the dragon and do it themselves? And then the dragon,
The
like,
dragon was obviously an important part. Like that's the thing. At the end of the day, the dragon needed to live for them
Yeah.
to continue the story they were setting up.
yeah,
But they set up a problem and they never solved it.
Right.
Is the issue.
yeah,
The other issue, writing wise, I could see people making an argument for is awful ending for Jamie. We got such a crazy story arc with that character, and now he's just dead, possibly.
yeah.
Here's the thing: if that was just the floor that fell, I could see them surviving. If that was the whole castle, they're definitely dead. But
yeah. I feel cheated out of someone murdering Cersei.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
I didn't like that. It was
the building
it was
crashed
the
on her.
building like
That was a
technically-
little poetic too, but
no, yeah, it was. That's one of the things I was referring to. And like you could say like, well, Dany killed her because she was the one who.
yeah,
But like,
Yeah.
I wanted to
very indirectly.
yeah. But yeah,
Um,
Jamie, and this is not a good thing, but Jamie died like the exact way he would have wanted to.
yeah.
He died fucking.
I
holding
just
his
thought,
sister.
I really thought we were beyond that with him.
yeah, but
The
we
whole
all did.
ordeal. So that's my point, and I could see people being like, well, that was some crappy writing. I can get that.
But I would attribute to that bad writing to last week's episode.
True, but they could have turned it around.
Yeah, they
180'd it.
could've.
Like what I thought was he wanted it to seem like he was going there to join her for whatever reason.
Right, when he was hugging her in the basement, I was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just kill her.
Yeah, just finish her off.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Another issue I have with this show, and I feel like it was intentional, so it's not really an issue, it's more of a concern, is we saw some major character deaths,
Yeah.
and I didn't get a single money shot, which makes me think not everybody's dead who I'm expected to think is dead.
Yeah, I usually think that too, like, unless I see them dead, they're not dead, you know?
And I know we're down to the last episode, but I've seen multiple characters come back to life in this show.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're I don't know. It's an interesting choice. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose.
And they don't shy. And here's the thing. It's the reason I feel like it's intentional is this show has never shied away from
Right.
showing us.
No, that's what I was
a
going to say.
death.
I was going to be like, maybe they're trying to, but they showed shit.
The whole show, all the way to the end.
Yeah, they no, I mean even this episode they showed like burning bodies
Oh, yeah.
and like heads being cut off
Yeah.
and stuff. So
There was one burning body I would have loved to see, just because I don't think he's dead. I love Varys, by the way. I think
Yeah, why,
he's always had the right idea.
so I'm a little confused. Why? What did Varys
He knew.
do?
She's friggin' insane. He knew the truth, and she
But
even
so
straight
did
up.
Tyrion.
But he didn't. Tyrion opted out of. Varys knew the truth, and Varys decided Jon Snow was the right choice.
But no, what? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But nobody said that. Tyrion just said Varys betrayed you, and then she was like, no, Jon betrayed me, and then she killed Varys and not Jon, and not Tyrion.
Right. It wasn't set up the best. I feel like the reason Varys died was simply because he knew, and he knew she wasn't the right choice, and she didn't appreciate that.
Like I know he was writing that note, but there's no way that she.
Oh, so there was no
knew
way she knew that note.
that.
But who's to say that was the first note?
True.
You know? I was
Yeah.
kind of expecting to see some carrier ravens in that room,
Yeah.
as if, like, that wasn't the first one he wrote. We didn't see that, but to me, it felt like the word's out. He did the most he could to let everybody know in that moment before she got him. Was kind of what I was getting out of that. But what got me was then she was like, this is what happens when people know the truth, Jon Snow. And I was like, oh my God, she's gonna be insane by the end of this episode, right? Am I the only one seeing this? How effed up this whole thing is?
No, I feel like they've done a very good job foreshadowing the fact that if
apparently most of the public didn't get the hint.
yeah. Let's talk about Hound Mountain. First of all, let's talk about Hound Arya, because I didn't get two things. One thing I really liked, she called him by his first name, which was really
that
cool.
was cool.
Why that scene? They got all the way there to the map room, and then he was like, "You go, I'll stay," and then she was like, "Thanks," and then pissed off.
Because his whole point was, if you step into this room with me, you're gonna die. We're both gonna die here if you keep going forward.
But I thought she didn't care. I was under the impression that she was like, "Nah, I don't care. I just want to get Cersei."
She might not have cared, but he's not gonna let this essentially child die. She has her whole life ahead of her. He was essentially like, I'm not going to let you sacrifice yourself. You're too good for that. Beyond that, he saved her from a life of just... I feel like she's a little beyond this, but it felt like to me he was like, do you want your whole life just be miserable and just wanting revenge from everybody? Step away from it now. You know, like, if you let it go now, there's still a chance you can be saved. But if you just let this linger your whole life, you're going to end up like me, where nothing else matters. And that was kind of what happened.
Because he literally died.
Nothing, and you said it. Nothing else mattered to him.
Right.
And he's trying to save her from that, is what I got out of it.
He literally, tried to kill him one way, didn't work. Tried to kill him another way, also didn't work. Stabbed him in the brain, it didn't work. And he was like, well, if I'm going to kill him, we're going to have to jump out this window into a fiery hellscape below,
which was extremely poetic. Also, I need the money shot from the mountain. I need to know he's dead.
Yeah, him more importantly, because he's a fucking Frankenstein's monster. Yo, talk about poetry. Fucking Frankenstein was killed by Frankenstein's monster.
Oh my God, tell me about that. Was so nuts. He was just like, whoops. Christ, that was so brutal. I wasn't expecting that. He was like, you move.
Yeah, no, I really, obviously he never said it because I don't think that character can talk, but it was clear in that moment that ever since he came back to life, his whole thing was, I'll listen to you, but if the Hound shows up, I'm not gonna listen to you.
Even not Daenerys, Cersei, he was just done. And even Cersei was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna...
that was the funniest part. That she knew that the Hound, she was confident that the Hound wouldn't just wait, by the way.
Yeah, if this was D&D, he had a perfect
attack.
Yeah, he had the perfect opportunity attack, automatic nat 20. You're gonna kill this character if you take this attack, and he was like, no, I'm too busy.
That's interesting. In Dungeons & Dragons, can you just say nah? I won't take this opportunity.
Yeah,
attack.
you can.
I guess you could.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't have to attack. If you can disengage, you don't have to take an opportunity attack.
Yeah, true. That's hilarious.
That was.
And then,
I want the best memes of that scene of her just like, you know that puppet that's eyes it's looking one way, then it veers that way, and then it looks back real quick.
No. From what?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's the perfect meme for this scene though, of just Cersei I'm just gonna get out of here.
So really the only big thing we haven't talked about yet is Jon, because Jon Snow did exactly. Sorry, I just remembered when your dad called him Snowman. Jon Snow did exactly what I wanted him to do and exactly what I thought he wasn't gonna do. I thought because we have this new Jon Snow, this I am loyal to that throne Jon Snow.
Yeah.
You know? And
what I said finally happened. She just got insane enough for him to be like, nah, I'm done.
And he took it the extra, like, Jon Snow mile. Like, he was like, everyone stopped fighting, and then
Yeah.
he just started fighting his own dudes. Which was,
He
like,
just fought anybody
super
who
badass.
wasn't morally correct in the moment.
Right, yeah. Yeah, your mom pointed out he took a few swings at some Lannisters, but, like, only to defend himself.
Right. Also, the guy he killed looked like one of his direct guys. It didn't look like Unsullied.
No.
It didn't look like
Mild,
Drak-
Dothraki.
Dothraki. That looked like a northern soldier, and he
Yeah.
was just like, no.
Yeah. No,
And
I
he
mean,
gave him the opportunity.
No, he did too. I really, I mean, I can only appreciate that Jon Snow draws the line at killing women and children.
Yeah. No, we had the moment, Anthony. I kind of want to see if we can make it. I don't know if it's too early to get the footage of that scene. Insert Rocky theme right there. We had the perfect 20 seconds of Jon Snow just being like, no. You know? Just
Yeah.
this is enough. Here's the thing though. We got one episode left. Don't turn back on us, Jon Snow.
Yeah,
you made
that's
a definitive decision that Grey Worm saw. So
Yeah.
you kind of got to stick with it now.
Yeah. Ooh, do you think, man?
Grey Worm's going to say something? Absolutely.
Because Grey Worm, that's not even what I was going to ask. No, because Grey Worm was the one who was like, well, let's start. I know there's swords on the ground, but let's start fighting them.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still going to be Team Daenerys?
I think
I think if Jon, if the episode starts and Jon's like, oh, but I'm defending Daenerys, I'm gonna be like, okay, this character's done.
yeah.
This character's
No,
stupid.
that's what I'm
But-
saying is there's one of two options for Jon Snow. Either he sticks to his guns, which is kind of what that character's been known for this entire show, or he's just done.
Yeah.
Or he's just a slave. It's funny enough
Yeah.
to Daenerys.
But I feel like Grey Worm is probably still like, no, she did what she had to.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's definitely gonna. Here's what's gonna happen. Here's the line of progression that can happen. Jon Snow is gonna continue to be the good old Jon Snow we know and love, and he's gonna convince Grey Worm. Are you kidding me with that? You're still gonna stick with her after that, and
Yeah.
that could go one of two ways, or we're gonna have, crybaby Jon Snow and Gendry insert person is gonna be like, no, that was enough.
Yeah. I think regardless of how that conversation goes, I guarantee off camera between episodes, there's going to be a scene where, before Jon gets a chance to say anything, Grey Worm's going to tattle on him.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, here's my thing. Assuming in universe, they're just as pissed about this as everybody else in our universe. I don't
Yeah.
see her getting off that dragon and not getting her head cut off. I kind of don't see her getting off that dragon. If there's one single scorpion still working, which is probably unlikely, she's
Kyber
done.
said they're all
They're all gone.
gone. Yeah.
I don't see an argument for her not only to still be in charge of people, but to still be alive. Are you kidding me? Everybody who was in there who saw what was happening, you're just gonna let her just move on. You're gonna let her continue.
I mean, here's the tricky thing, because there's her army, right? And her army was listening to her. Her army was like, oh, well, if she's going to fire people, we'll
Yeah.
go do fighting. Other than that, as far as I'm concerned, there's 4 people besides her that are going to have this conversation. Jon, Grey Worm, Tyrion, and Arya. Nobody knows that Arya's there.
right.
But, I feel like Arya is going to, have something to say.
I hope so.
Arya is going to be there to represent her and her sister and her brother, and be like, hey, Jon, don't. This is crazy. Don't with her.
I think that's what it's gonna come down to is Jon's either gonna if Jon starts to wimp out again, I think Arya's just gonna slap him and be like, no, enough, Jon. I'll kill you right now if you keep it up with Dany.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
can we be done with the awkward kissing scene? Enough. Jon Snow's already
Oh.
said a few times he doesn't want to.
Right.
Can you stop? Can you just be done?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to I couldn't believe there was another one. It's like watching last week's episode all over again. I was like, yep, and then he's gonna say no, and then he was like, no. And then I was like, yeah, good. We're glad we're still on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Thought that was over with last week.
I mean, that being said, when all is said and done, at the end of the day, I really liked this episode.
Oh yeah.
Last week's episode was pretty good, I thought, but like this one, like this is the last time I'll say it. It was very poetic, and I missed that from Game of Thrones. It was a great episode. People are saying the writing's bad, but like there wasn't much talking. It was mostly her Oh, and another thing that you brought up that or I brought it up or whatever, and you made it make a lot more sense. After Dany made the decision to do to her what she did, they didn't show her again.
Oh yeah.
The whole episode, which took
took the humanity out of it. Yeah.
Which was, I think, good writing.
Oh yeah.
I think that was a good choice.
Yeah,
if you're trying to, if for the last episode, and I really like when a bunch of animes have done this before, and I like it. Like if you're trying to frame this as there's a new villain for the last episode and it's Dany, like you've done it. You've done a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, that once again they barely showed anything on the next time on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's kind of nothing to talk about on the next time on. I do want to say though, it's just people's reactions to this episode are kind of bothering me. I saw a meme and it was like, I love the development of villains in Game of Thrones, and it shows all the villains, and the last one is the writers. Put Dany's face in there. Get over yourself. Come on, it's her. And
I don't think this season has been that bad.
No,
I think
it's been pretty good. Little draggy at the beginning.
No, yeah, I think the first two episodes could have been one episode. I think that the battle for the, what are we calling it? The battle for the night.
They're calling it the Great Battle.
Okay, the Great Battle was
think.
a little. I don't want to say boring. It wasn't boring. It was just it could have been better.
Yeah.
There was some weird decisions from some characters. See, if there was any episode this season to be like bad writers, I'd say that one. Not that I'm saying they're bad writers. It's just like that one was kind of a little like there was a bunch of decisions that I could see people being like, now why did they want to do this with these characters?
Yeah, like the ending, Jon Snow's ending in that episode, I'm still confused about. Why was he screaming at that dragon? Why was he screaming at that dragon? Also, was he going to the Night King? I have no confirmation on what he was doing.
It seems like he was going to the Night King, got fucking terrified by a zombie dragon, and then accepted his own fate. I think that's what happened. And then he didn't have to accept his own fate because his sister took out the Night King, which took out all the
like you said though, you and I don't know the landscape of that castle enough. We can make that assumption, but I don't know where he was actually going.
Right, I had that same problem. Last night when Jamie. I didn't know where Jamie was going. I was like, I literally said, I was like, I don't know the setup of this city enough to know if Jamie's like going to. Is he going to ring the bell? Is he going to save his sister? Like I have no idea.
Right. That would have been that would have been interesting if you rang the bell, because that would have been him literally being like, "Stop, everybody, stop."
Yeah. There was a solid 30 minutes of people shouting, "You ring the bell."
Nobody wanted to.
Why wasn't someone standing next to the bell?
I thought they kind of were. I thought, you know how
I thought that was the point.
You know how like the Jon Snow. I'll call you later.
Chris is getting a call on his cell phone.
You know the whole Jon Snow in Lannister in Grey Worm lineup. Of like, they're on one side, they're on the other.
Confrontation in the
I
city
thought
where
they were next to the bell. I was kind of expecting one of the Lannister soldiers to be like, oh, "I'll get it." Like,
also, I guess it's not that important. We didn't talk about it, but like, once again, not that I expected him to do anything, but like, once again, Tyrion showed up to the battle, did nothing, and then just watched as Daenerys like
did something awful.
I think. If we're about to have a conversation where Tyrion is like, that wasn't okay, bad, and he bops Daenerys on the nose, like then
she kills him.
That's the conversation I thought we were gonna have after she burnt the caravans with Jaime in that one episode, where Tyrion was looking at a cliff and he was like, "Run, you idiot!" And then she killed Sam's brother and father. I thought we were gonna have a conversation then, but
No, I think he's more and more just afraid of her.
yeah. I fully believe that next episode he's still gonna be like, yeah, but she's great though. She's the ruler we deserve.
With sweat pouring down his face. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't believe it.
Yeah, no,
But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's just trying to save his own
Yeah.
life.
The sweat says, "Help me."
Yeah. Either that, I mean, this isn't how the next time on set it up to look like. Either that or everybody except the Unsullied and Dothraki are just with her. And Tyrion's just kind of like, I'm just going to sidestep over here.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, and this is a kind of a problem I had with the last season as well. But I am very unclear on how many Dothraki
Yeah.
are left. I thought there was I thought they all died in that big firefight with the night
They showed, and I thought they
Watch.
showed like
Night-
every single one.
White Walkers.
Yeah,
that's
what the
they're called.
White Walkers.
Not the Night Watch.
There looked like there was like 6 left. And then at the beginning of this battle, I kind of got confirmation there was like 6 or 7 of them on their horses, just kind of hanging out in the mix of everybody. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Then the next time on, there's like a horde of them again.
Yeah.
In the the Unsullied are huge in numbers. And it's like, did you save everybody for the Lannister fight? Because that was a bad idea.
Do you think that this was also unclear? Very confusing episode. Just not because I understand everything that happened, but just I was confused about a number of different characters' motives.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was intentional. And if it was, well done. But do you think that she also took out some of her people?
Oh yeah. I don't
And do you
think
that's
she
gonna
was
get brought up.
I hope so. I don't think she was paying attention to who she was killing. She was just killing.
It looks like she was just going down the aisles until
Yeah.
she got to the castle, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
And just started that. That's the part where so that's what I was trying to say. So she was on her dragon, trying her fucking hardest not to decide to kill everyone, and then she made the decision. She starts killing people. Then she starts killing random innocent people, and then I was like, that's too much. That's what a villain would do.
Yep.
And then she took it a step further, where she just started destroying the Iron Keep, the one where the throne is.
Yeah.
That she wants to rule, and that's when I was like, oh, she's just gone completely mad. she just doesn't care anymore. She's just angry, and she has a dragon that breathes fire. The only dragon that breathes the only fire.
Yeah, I love the more memes from this week. It was like Mother of Dragons, but the S is crossed out.
Good. No, I really, really like that they didn't show her.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to mention this. It was Mother's Day, so I guess she could do whatever she wanted with her dragon. I didn't think about that.
Fuck you. It's not Mother's Day in Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has a wonky calendar.
I'd love it if they were like, well, I mean, let her have a little bit of fun. It is her day.
God, I saw so many people this isn't how the books are gonna end. There's no way this is what he wanted, and I was just like,
I feel like he kind of set it up that way. Her family's insane. She definitely wasn't normal at any point.
no. She the first scene with her was weird, and then she got kind of normal, and then it's like, oh, it kind of sucks that she's being married to this savage,
And then she was like, I'll run your army, and he was like, okay, and then he died.
even before that, she just killed her brother.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I was like, oh, maybe history repeats itself.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just a weird character. It was never normal with her. And I said
And I
this.
think her villain origin story arc has completed itself.
Oh yeah.
I think they did a good job if that's what they were going for.
And I feel like
If that's what they weren't going for, if they were going to take Daenerys in another direction and then they started doing this, that's bad writing, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this was fully intended the whole time.
I my
truly
point
do.
exactly. I said this a long time ago. I said these two things, and they both go together, so I'm going to say them both. I said, after the Red Wedding, I was like, the show made me believe that the Starks were going to be the good guys, but there's 4 of them left, and I feel like the show's just gonna
And then all
just gonna
four of
screw
them,
me.
and then all 4 of them survived until the
yeah,
last episode.
exactly. That was my whole point. I was like, everybody hates the Starks right now. I love them. And they're gonna kill these last 4. And then on the other side of the coin, I was like, Daenerys sucks. And they did a bad job writing her as a good guy, if that's what they wanted, because she's weird. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Like, I had my first outburst of like, this is wrong.
In hindsight, it really does feel like her arc is paying off.
Yeah, no, they finally came full circle, and I can so appreciate it now. Because the whole time I was like, bad job making a good guy. If this is your version of a cool, badass female character, bad job. She's just weird.
That's why every time you bring up not liking Dany and liking Jon more, I've just been kind of neutral, because I've been like, she doesn't seem like a good guy, but that's what the show wants me to think. Like, there's clearly, like, not the show, but like clearly the fandom has like 2 teams. It's Team Jon and Team Dany, and like I don't know, because the she wants it, he doesn't. He deserves it probably, but like she, you know, has wanted it for longer. But like she kind of is a villain, but like he has been very open about not wanting it, and I just like, I don't know, but it seems pretty like concrete now that like she's bad for the throne, and somebody else would be better for the
almost
throne.
anybody at this point, except Cersei, but she's dead. So anybody.
That's the thing. Like they play loosey goosey with like who has the rightful heir to the throne. Like there's a bunch of characters that like if Tyrion wanted it, I would see
he'd be good.
An argument for that. If Jon doesn't want it, give it to Arya.
Well, it's kind of
there's just like a bunch of characters that it's like, well, technically, if a
it's kind of like real world nonsense. It's like they have what's the word? Divine right to the throne, and nobody else has it. So therefore, in the people's mind, there's only one of a few options, and even then, that's too many. Like there should be only one option that makes sense.
That's why season 1 was so interesting, because they made it very clear that a Targaryen should be on the throne by right, but there's a Baratheon on the throne, but he's sort of a Lannister, and Starks definitely don't deserve the throne.
Right. But it's a little topsy-turvy now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and we said it last season, but with the whole deal with Jon doesn't want it, probably
last episode,
deserves
you mean?
Yeah, sorry, what did I say?
Last season, yeah.
Last episode, it was, Jon doesn't want it, probably deserves it more. Dany wants it, definitely doesn't deserve it. Input Gendry.
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense.
I think my new theory is something happens. The dust clears, the music swells, we come back, and we're crowning Gendry because no one else wanted it.
Here's my only issue with that.
And I would be okay with that.
I would be too, but if that's how they were going to set it up, I would have liked a little more Gendry. Because I feel like he probably deserves it more than... he deserves it more than Daenerys. It would be a nice twist considering Jon doesn't want it.
Right.
But I didn't see anything that made me say, oh yeah, Gendry, you know what, that'd be a good call. Like, there was no cool scene of him throwing the hammer at people and like, or leading anybody.
There was...
Them getting the White Walker, right? Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say this, the scene where he runs, they were like, go, run back to the wall.
Yeah. That was
cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen a scene that tells me, the viewer, oh, he would be a good leader.
We haven't seen an example of good leadership, but we've seen example of a decent person.
Right, but to me, that's not enough.
If it comes down, if the conversation we end up having is, well, someone's got to take it, I think give it to him.
Yeah, no, I
like
agree. I'd like to see a little more deservance than just...
I don't think we're gonna, though.
Yeah.
We got one episode, and I honestly think that whatever happens next episode, Gendry's not gonna be in the episode. Something's gonna happen. Fucking Davos. Oh, that's the other thing. We still don't know what Tyrion asked Davos to do.
Right. We also don't know where Bronn is.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, like, so this is my prediction. Something's gonna happen, and then the conversation's gonna be, well, someone has to take it, and Davos is gonna be like, but Jon, you should take it. And then Jon's going to be like, I know who should take it. And then we're going to do a cutaway, and we're going to come back to Gendry, like, being crowned.
I hope it's a little longer than that, but yeah. I mean, there's only one episode, so it could be that fast.
I know who deserves it, and then the fucking theme song from Frasier plays, and then we cut to Gendry like, oh, I can't even put the crown on right because I've never. Oh no, I broke the Iron Throne.
And then him just like, what are you gonna do? And the credits roll.
Yeah, bum, and then the Full House theme song plays, and the credits go, and they show like Kimmy Gibbler and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen and fucking and then a trailer for season 9 starts, and it's like, but Gendry's gonna run it like a kid would.
Well, that's actually not a joke, but like, what if it was kind of set up that way, where the Game of Thrones is over, but Daenerys is on the throne, and now tune in for Game of Thrones 2. You know, we're gonna kill Daenerys.
Sequel to a TV show.
Well, no, but you know how they have some projects in the works.
Yeah.
I feel like there could be a part 2 if Daenerys has the throne.
If it was a direct sequel, I would feel blindsided because
or a movie.
They call them. Ooh. I would go to the theaters to see a 4-hour-long Game of Thrones movie. I would.
I'm just saying, like, there's potential for this to end open-endedly, which would be a twist.
Yeah.
But they'd immediately have to be like, yeah, but check this out. Like, it's not done yet. Go check this out.
What I was gonna say is, I'd feel blindsided because they said they have spin-offs in the work, and
True.
Spin-off to me means maybe you'll see Jon in one episode, but it's probably gonna focus on like the Andals or some shit.
Right. No, but I mean, I feel like a movie could be, you know.
That'd be cool. I don't think they have anything like that planned. That's why I think that I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
theaters should be able, not theaters, but like production companies should be able to like keep something secret. I know it's 2019, but like that'd be so hype if Game of Thrones ends, Daenerys is on the throne. We're pissed. First commercial's like Game of Thrones movie. Gonna finish it off, baby.
No, that'd be cool for sure. But I don't know. I really don't know. Like I had an idea of how I thought maybe the season was gonna end, and as soon as she took off with that dragon to kill innocent people, I have no idea anymore. Like, because the fact that it was a big fight scene, like a big battle scene, and the only talking scenes were really between the Hound and Cersei and Jaime and Arya and all them. I don't know where everyone's loyalties stand. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know where Tyrion is. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a scared little boy still with Dany.
Kind of don't blame him though. Like he's just kind of fighting for his life at this point.
Like I'm like, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure where I think everyone's gonna stand, but I have no idea.
You know what would be interesting? Just because we can all agree she's absolutely bananas at this point. What if she gets off the dragon and is like, Tyrion, you're dead. You screwed that up. And he's like, she's like, the bell tolled, and everybody still fought. You said they weren't going to fight if the bell tolled. And he's just like, like, but you did it.
I mean, that's basically how she treated him when Jaime came back.
That's kind of how she's at this point. If I was Tyrion, I'd be out of there like, oh, God, this is going to be my fault somehow.
You joke, but literally Jaime was like, hey, I'm here, and I forget exactly what he said, but Dany basically immediately looked at Tyrion and was like, what did you do?
No, I know. He's just kind of her punching bag. But, like, she's had it with him, you know, quote unquote, had it with him. Even though he hasn't done anything, she's blaming everything on him. She's going to blame him for the fact that people still fought after that bell tolled, and he's going to be like, we had a plan.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of the only person to blame if she won't take the blame herself.
Right. Right, but, like, so in a normal person's mind,
yeah,
he's so far removed from blame. Like, the plan was you stop. Like, here's the thing. If we were talking about two sane people with the mindset of, like, you know, not medieval, you're the queen, you can't say anything wrong, it's my fault nonsense. There was a plan. You went against the plan.
She technically never agreed to it.
She never agreed to it, sure.
But it was very clear cut, like, here's the rules.
She cannot put the blame on somebody else if she did not follow the plan that was set in motion.
I think Tyrion did that on purpose. I think Tyrion was like, I'll say this to Dany, I'll say it to Jon, and then now whatever happens, and it's not my fault. I fucking warned everyone I could.
At the very least, because here's the thing, the only person who knows that Jon Snow did the right thing was a handful of his men and Grey Worm, who's probably not happy with him for doing the right thing. The only other thing Jon Snow did that people can acknowledge is he retreated. He told everybody, get out. She's insane. The only way we're going to live is if we get out of here.
Yeah.
So hopefully that puts him somewhat in the good graces of everybody else.
Yeah. But one more episode left of Game of Thrones. One more episode left of this podcast. Like I said, Chris and I, if you're new, hi, this is Thunder and Lightning Gaming. We play Let's Play video games, but this is part of our movie podcast, and that's going to go up every other Wednesday.
Except this is probably going to be up today.
Oh yeah. This will go up today, Monday the 13th of May. Yeah. But yeah, that was it. Join us next time. Where it'll probably be a super long episode of this podcast.
Or we'll both be pissed and we won't even do it. Good night, everybody.
Ba ba ba